All right, what's up, everybody? It's your favorite villain, and I have my lawyer here with me, GB.
Yo, what's poppin'?
All right, so we shout out to Bullfrog from my member server. Him and his boys have been talking about this topic for a while, and he asked me to do this, so we're gonna do this video. This is a Star Wars comparison to DC. Before we start, me and GB don't think Star Wars beats DC. So shut up in the comments if you're going to be that guy. What we're doing is comparing it and telling you who we would put from DC against these matchups. And we're going to do 5 different tiers, and we're also going to introduce my new scaling system. I've been meaning to introduce it, and I figured this is a fun time to do it. So with that being said, I'm going to introduce tier 1 for Star Wars. And then GB is going to present Team One for DC, and we'll tell you how it goes. So for Team One in Tier One, we have Boba Fett, Mandalorian, and Chewbacca. Now these three, just to give you guys some knowledge on the scaling system, I put Tier One characters destructive capabilities, aka the amount of stuff they can destroy, at a 4 on my scale, which is sub city level. And then for attack potency, I gave them a little higher. Attack potency means what character can you damage that can take a certain amount of damage. So, for example, Wolverine can only cut stuff around him, but he can cut characters that can tank stars exploding. Okay, so just that's what attack potency is for people that don't know. They range to city level in tier 1 for attack potency based on who they've beaten before. And then for speed, I have them at a 6, which is around light speed. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce the combatants from Tier 1 Star Wars, and then I'll let GB talk. So Tier 1, we got Team Captain Boba Fett, the most skilled in his group. It's not even close. He can actually square off with Darth Vader tier characters, including Vader himself, and either win or get close to winning or press them really hard. Vader got shot, headshot while he was falling. It was a crazy fight. We saw him against the Star Killer clone. He absolutely mauled him. And Boba consistently can hang with higher tier foes. It's because of his skill and his gear. His gear is designed to take hits, create space, and if up close, he can take you out in hand to hand, because the Mandalorian culture actually trains in taking down force wielders. Like, they have a specific martial art for it, and he's always been prepared for it. If you look at this, Ram Koda, he's a Jedi master, one-shotted by Boba. Boba's a bad boy. And by the way, we're using EU. We're not using just canon, so everybody knows. Next up, we got Mandalorian. Although he's not Django level, Din is a respected Mandalorian who can handle his own. He initially started off with some garbage armor, but upgraded to traditional Beskar armor for full-fledged Mandalorians. He's near superhuman with his gear and skill. He easily tore off the arm of a metal security droid. The Mandalorians was also able to square off with a metahuman alien, and despite getting thrashed around, he keeps fighting, and this is mostly because of the culture he comes from. Mandalorians don't give up. They just don't stop. You got to kill them. And his armor is a big piece of what he does for a reason. Beskar is a rare metal that is so strong, if you look right here, if you follow my cursor, it can stop lightsabers. That's how strong it is. And his sniper rifle is actually very underrated. The Ambin sniper rifle can cause aliens capable of manhandling ships pain and potentially death. Mando also is above average even compared to other Mandalorians and bounty hunters. We've actually seen him beat multiple hunters before. And finally, for this tier, we have Chewbacca, the GOAT Wookiee. Chewie runs from no ops, and he handles all ops. This includes Darth Vader. Darth Vader, one of the stronger characters in Star Wars, got into it with Chewie, made it clear he was trying to kill him. He started using the Force and said, "For it will be your last," in reference to battle. Chewie said, "Bet," grabbed him, and threw his ass off the cliff. So yeah, Chewie's a bad boy. Wookiees are also deceptively fast. Chewie has avoided close laser fire in comics and can fly at warp speed and be cognizant of what's going on. This is light speed to FTL speeds. By the way, he's slower than both of the previous combatants, so just so y'all know. His bowcaster, his best weapon, is also devastating. With just one shot of a bowcaster, Chewie can clear a whole room of troopers. No problem. So, with that being said, we're going to move on to Tier 1 for DC, and I'll let GB take over.
Yo, so we got up front Weezy F baby Damian Wayne. Yo, if those who don't know, Damian Wayne is fast as fizzle when he dodges laser bizzles. He dodged the laser
Oh, no. Oh, the bars. Hit the like button for the bars. I'm pretty sure that was off the top.
Yo. Oh my god. Yo, but he's dodged laser beams from these robotic counterparts of Batman and Superman that he also wrecked with the help of Big John Kent, aka the biological son of Superman, who Damian also threw hands with. And if y'all don't know, Kryptonians are tough. Moving on to Deathstroke. Moving on to
That's a
Deathstroke.
level scale. They're tough.
Oh man. Oh man. Nah, but it definitely goes without saying Damian Wayne has trained with Batman, Deathstroke, Talia al Ghul, and Big Grandpa Roz. So, that being said, his physical prowess, being able to dodge light and brawl with Big Johnny Kent, you already know what's going down. Damian Wayne in the building. Moving on to Deathstroke, number 2 in the team. Big bet. Deathstroke as of Rebirth is on his coon shiz. Man took out Mad Flash members, even stole some of the Speed Force, and put hands on Wally West and made him run away from a fight. Why? Because Wally West wasn't about it. Then he ended up shooting dude in the head. Not Wally, obviously, because that would be crazy. Flash fanboys would lose their mind if that happened.
He already beats up Kid Flash. Oh, man.
Yeah. Nah, this other metahuman was about to beat up on Batman. Deathstroke came in, shot dude in the head, and said, "You're a jobber." So he kills dude. So his bullets are on a different level, right? Damian Wayne then takes that same gat, takes the millimeter away from Deathstroke, shoots him with it. It does nothing. This man's armor is on a different level. All right. So we know Deathstroke's dangerous. We know that he has tech that can steal speed. We know that this man has armor that can neg impact to a certain degree, that can kill metahumans. So when it comes to martial arts, nothing's to be said. Deathstroke is Deathstroke, but when it comes to tech, Deathstroke, guess what? He's still Deathstroke. Let's go. All right.
Okay. So memes aside, if we compare the Tier 1, Tier 2, we've picked every DC team to beat the Star Wars team, but we want to show you, what it takes to beat that Star Wars team. What do you think would be the most interesting fight to watch in Tier 1?
Probably the next one. Beast Boy, Big Green, Big Mean, Lime Green, Machine, Big Boy, Beast Boy against Chewie Bax. So Beast Boy in the recent Teen Titan run unlocked the Beast Within. This allows him to transform into creatures, I repeat, creatures of mythological, imaginative origin. With this, he steamrolled through the Titans and broke through a movie theater, because whatever movie they were watching must have been Dawn of Justice, or if not, it was probably Joss Whedon's Justice League. Broke out of the movie theater and absolutely steamrolled the whole team, was out of control, just running through buildings. So he gets a severe power amp, obviously being a mythological creature of imagination, and this would be interesting seeing Chewie Bax deal with this type of pressure, this type of monstrosity with Beast Boy.
Yeah, I think Chewie would light him up at first, and then Beast Boy's like, okay, and then Chewie's going to be pissed and still scrap because he doesn't run, but it's the big green comes out, it's going to be an issue. I think Deathstroke versus Django would personally, that's a fight I'd want to see. I definitely think Django could take some. Not Django, I'm sorry, Boba. Boba's a monster. He's actually better than Django. He's manhandled Jedi, Sith alike. I think he'd give him a really good fight. But Deathstroke's done some crazy stuff too. So if we had to pick a DC team to take down that first tier, that's our team. So I'm gonna go ahead and go through tier 2 for y'all for Star Wars. So we have, scrolling past Chewbacca, we have Kit Fisto. First one on tier 2. Kit is a legend in the Order of the Jedi for good reason. Mace Windu even considered him one of the best of all times. And going over who he picks, who he rolls with. Fisto is so strong because one of his genetics, his species has great physical stats. Two, his form Shi-Cho, he's developed it to a point where he almost lets the Force take over when he fights. And it's to the point that he was so talented, he was physically superior to Kenobi and had to restrain himself from hurting Kenobi. This was before Episode 3, but it does say Kenobi was a master of Form 3, so it's impressive that he had to stop from blitzing Kenobi, and they fought for hours just fine. So, yeah, he's a monster. And then finally for Kit Fisto, he gets a massive power amp underwater. Almost like a demigod status. Some people wonder if he could take Sidious. Like, that's how strong he gets under there. He even invents new powers underwater, so he's wild. But that's the first player on the team. Second one, we got Starkiller. Starkiller was one of the apprentices for Darth Vader, one of his most popular ones. He had really popular video games. He also implied Vader never gave him a fair fight. Starkiller has always done pretty decent against Vader, and Vader is known to undermine people, so there's some truth to this, but Prime Vader beats him. So, sorry, Starkiller fans. But he's also induced explosions casually that are larger than most bomb impacts and are seen from miles up. Even high tier Force users like Vader can be had by Starkiller's speed and his Force combos. He excels at combining dueling with Force powers. Starkiller does better when under duress or hurt. Shock T couldn't hold him down. A stupendous wave told me she's broken. So there you go. And he gets significantly stronger even after that fight. T, for the record, at the time had control over the planet and its features like the wildlife, and he still forcibly overpowered her and her allies. Last one on the team, General Grievous. General Grievous was one of the most skilled duelists of his time and is a famed Jedi Slayer. He was known for dealing with several Force users at once just fine. Grievous has also survived beefs with Mace Windu, and he auto-adapts to fighting styles and can learn them by fighting you. Consistently, he is physically superior to Jedi and Sith even when they use the Force. He can even evade Force attacks and then blitz you after, which you rarely see people just blatantly dodge Force attacks. Grievous is dangerous regardless of if he has blades. Mandalorians, which we previously reviewed, Grievous ran through a platoon of them with no weapons. It was just fine. It was pretty casual for him. So, yeah, that's it for Tier 2. Now, before I let GB talk about his team, I'm going to quickly review with y'all what Tier 2 on my scaling system equates to, what the range is. For Tier 2, attack potency, it's at an 11 or planetary. Destructive capability, it's at a 6, which is City Plus. They don't have the craziest attack potency or area of effect. But some attacks like Mind Hacks are much larger. But finally, speed, it's about 7, which is Light Speed Plus, massively FTL. Pretty good speed. So with that being said, Tier 2 candidates from DC, go ahead, GB, break it down.
Yo, number 1, Big Wet, Aqualad. Aqualad, is he Atlantean? Whatever he is, we don't know. This man can control water. He's a waterbender, not the last airbender. You know what it is. He can drown you in the water. He can make water constructs. This man spars with Damien on a regular basis, so he's no slouch with the blades. Don't disrespect. His water sharp enough to cut King Shark, and if y'all don't know, King Shark cannot be cut easily. Aquaman tried that with Atlantean weapons, and y'all know what Atlantean weapons do. Ask Darkseid. Oh, whoa, King Shark wank. Yo, but real talk.
King Shark's a beast, first of all. We discovered that in the making of this video. I hope y'all want a King Shark video because he's ridiculous. Biggest dude.
But yeah, so ultimately, this man controls water. He gets amplified underwater. He can make these hard constructs, and obviously he's hurt pretty powerful characters with that. He's trained with pretty strong and efficient fighters like Damian Wayne on a regular basis. Really not much to say. He handles his business. Aqualad is a boy. Now next up, a real boy. Some would say a Superboy. Let's go! Yo, Superboy has taken hits from Red Tornado, and I know a lot of people are like, wow, that's not impressive, but that's what we got the second feed for. He's taking hits from...
The Red Tornado fans, all three of them, comment down below.
Yo, but that's what we got the second feed for. This man, Luther RL, I guess is his name. I don't know. He's an ugly version of Superboy with a mohawk. Anyway, Superboy rocked this man, sent him flying. A version of Supergirl. Kind of looks like Wonder Woman from another reality. He rocks them both. So this man can obviously handle metahumans that are around his level. That's the whole point of this story. Superboy's about it. So when we know what Superboy's about, we know what Aqualad is about, but who's the third person you're asking? Wow, that's crazy, because guess what? It's Flash's boy, Midnighter. Y'all already know. Y'all heard the stories. Y'all have heard the myths. Y'all have heard the legends, but the man is here. This man absolutely boloed Neron. Who is Neron? It doesn't matter because he got one-shotted by the right hand. Yo, follow-upping Neron right now? Guess what? Etrigan. Who's Etrigan? A jobber, because this man boloed Etrigan, drew blood from him. Did he really get the win? Hey, read the comic and find out. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, keep it moving before I find out the truth. He did draw blood, though. He did draw blood. I'm showing it on screen right now. He definitely did.
And speaking of blood, this man doesn't stop at demons. He doesn't stop at overlords of the galaxy. This man doesn't even stop at Martians. Martian Manhunter, the next victim. Man got his nose broken, and had he not moved his brain, he would have died. Point is, Midnighter's going to find that weakness, and he's going to try to expose that. And if he lands that hit, that right hand is the one-hitter quitter of doom. So Midnighter is a boy, and that's going to wrap it up for that tier of DC.
Now, me and GB both agree on what fight we would actually, like no memes, want to see from this tier. Aqualad versus Kit Fisto would be dope. That would be a dope ass fight.
Yeah.
But I think as a group, it's Midnighter, dog. What you want me to say? I don't have much of an... I know I'm a Star Wars fan, but this tier's got... You have to be really out of tier for Midnighter to not beat you. That's the problem with Midnighter. Like, he's shown he punches above his weight class every time. So you really have to come with the sauce. So when he's put on his own tier, it's rough. Now, Neron, before someone gets technical, yeah, he did have an amp by taking some, I think it was Angel essence from Shaman or Doctor, one of them. But when he did, all it did was give him access to the realms. He still has to beat up the living refute to the presence. I hope y'all know that. Like, that's still the fight he has to have, even if, he gets stats to go to that realm. He still has to fight him. And that being has been fighting and doing hood rat stuff since before time was a concept. And Midnighter beat the shit out of him. So, yeah, Midnighter's the GOAT. So, yeah, DC takes it with this round, but obviously they had to come at him with a really good team. So, Tier 3. So I don't forget, I'll go ahead and break down the scaling system for them. So Tier 3, these characters for attack potency on average, we put out at about 15 to 16, which is star plus the solar system. Destructive capabilities at about a 14 star level. And speed at 8 or 9, which is infinite to unquantifiable, which is we can't use the speed equation to properly assess your speed. So I'm going to go ahead and go through who Tier 3 in Star Wars is. So, first up, we have, I believe it's Mace Windu. Oh, yep, Mace Windu. So Mace Windu is one of the most famed Jedis of all time. Republican hero, Republican general. He casually bopped Sora Bulk. Sora Bulk, for the record, was a former Jedi battle master. The battle master has to master every form of lightsaber so he could teach it to every student. He did this, gained power by becoming a Sith or evil. Mace casually bopped him and embarrassed him. And when Sora Bulk was like, whoever walks out of here wins, he said, oh, okay, and then just force pushed him and it was over. A droid built for insane missions, and one Grievous thought could take Mace Windu, came after Mace Windu, and he learned real quick he didn't scale to Mace Windu. Now, this is impressive, though, because clearly this droid's a monster. If Grievous had faith, he could take Windu. That's tough. Shatterpoint allows Mace Windu to see objects, or see weaknesses in objects, people, and events. He also mastered Vapad and can power loop evil power. So y'all know, think of Shatterpoint like this. Is kind of how explained in Star Wars. You see the world like a crystal, and those edges on the crystal are weaknesses. You see the edges and exploit it. So he has that. Moving on, we have Kyle Katarn. They actually had a versus battle recently on my channel. Go check it out. But anyways, Katarn was a Jedi Master and the new Jedi Order Battle Master selected by EU Luke Skywalker. Extended Universe Luke Skywalker is very OP. You'll be seeing him later. But anyways, Katarn was killing Vader-level threats before he actually had any training. He was so strong in the Force, he could casually throw around Yuuzhan Vong. The Yuuzhan Vong, just so y'all know, have a natural immunity to the Force, and it didn't matter. He was just like, okay, Force pusher. He also brawled barehanded with a Vong warrior. Most Jedi at full power with lightsabers still can't beat an unarmed Vong warrior, and he brawled with them. So Kyle also naturally adapts and overcomes and even learns new abilities on the spot. He used this to beat Jarek in the Valley and fulfilled a prophecy. Jarek was considered by Sidious to be a Vader-level threat, and he actually stopped Jarek from obtaining information because he was worried he would grow too much in power. Finally, for this tier, we got my boy Darth Kaitis. It's been a while since I mentioned him on the channel, but y'all know I love Kaitis. Jacen Solo, aka Darth Kaitis, was always a powerhouse. There is multiple references to him being relative to Luke Skywalker in raw power. Kaitis was also a top-tier combatant who defeated Mara Jade Skywalker, former Sidious agent and a Jedi Master in the baby mama to Luke. He beat Katarn and his squad of Jedi hunters while injured and nearly killed Katarn. Kaitis has also survived duels with an enraged Grandmaster Luke. In case you don't think Luke was bloodlusted, he walked in on Kaitis torturing his son and jumped Kaitis and tried to kill him. And Kaitis was like, oh, shit. But he fought him off and he survived. So y'all can't tell him shit. Now, Kaitis also can make you see what you fear the most and can teleport, sort of, flow walk, and is one of the most skilled and genius fighters ever. By the way, Kaitis, to me, I know I said he beat Katarn. He's the strongest for his team. So for anyone that wants to talk about that. But anyways, Tier 3 has been concluded for Star Wars. I'm going to let GB take over for Tier 3 DC.
Yo, we're back representing DC, and number 1 for Tier 3 on DC is Big King Shark. As you can see, if Splash is scrolling through the section right now, King Shark takes out an Atlantean child. This child, obviously Atlantean, has super durability, super strength. They blasted through a battleship before this. King Shark bit him in half. Didn't matter. Next scan. King Shark holds off multiple Atlanteans, shakes them off, throws them away like they're fodder. Guess what? They are, because it wasn't their story. It was a King Shark story. So King Shark, OD strong. And next, but not least, the King Shark omnipotent backhand. Look at him putting down Arthur Curry multiple times with a single slap of the backhand. Knocks him down and puts him out of commission multiple times. We know what King Arthur, whatever, his name isn't even King Arthur, but he has blonde hair, he's white, and he's from Atlantis. It's the same thing. He's a prince. It doesn't matter. Look,
Facts.
he knocked him out. Whatever. It's Arthur Pendragon, Arthur from Atlantis.
Yeah, it's Aquaman.
It doesn't
dog.
matter.
He pimp slaps Aquaman all the time, even the non-jobber ones.
Exactly.
He's the son of a
This
god.
is Aquaman, dude, a Justice League member, and gets boloed. If y'all think Aquaman's a jobber, go talk to Darkseid about that New 52. Y'all know what it is. Besides from that, King Shark ain't no slouch. So we're going up to the next one, Raven. Listen, we're gonna keep it short. Raven, we know her dad is the win condition. She's gonna call her dad. Her dad is a cop. We know what it is.
Trigon. Oh,
if
man.
if you knock her out, if you try to go into her mind, if you try to sleep into her soul, her dad's gonna speak to you, and you ain't gonna like what he has to say. He's gonna charge you with attempted murder, and you're going to jail for a long time. Next up after that, oh, and by the way, okay, she can BFR you to other dimensions. All right. Anyway, next, Solomon, big man, Grundy. Look, man, Splash is probably scrolling through the session right now. That's Superman. That is classic Superman. Can't even put a dent in Solomon Grundy. Hopefully one of those scans doesn't get Splash's channel demonetized. But
I just clicked on it. Let's go! Look at the thickness. Let's go! Asshole in the camera.
Let's go.
Grundy don't care. Said it's Sunday. Let's go.
Yeah, he was born on a Sunday, but he's ready for that Monday. So this man literally ragdolls classic Superman. Everybody knows how strong classic Superman is. Come on now, we don't even go into that. Everybody here has read comics to some assembly. So this man's boloing Superman, and there's really not much to say about it. Like look at Superman trying his hardest, getting ragdolled. They literally stole that scene from Grundy versus Superman, and they put it in Dragon Ball where Broly ragdolls Goku. Look at that. All the Dragon Ball fans are mad now. Oh my god, original. Anyway, bowl cut Grundy, bolos. Big Grundy. That's it for tier 3.
Yeah, the problem with tier 3 is Grundy can actually just walk through hacks because he's dead. Grundy's not afraid of anything, so you can't fear hacks him. I mean, Grundy fought Wildcat, and if y'all don't know, Wildcat was a heavyweight champion, and he couldn't even move Grundy, so that's crazy. But anyways, seriously, Grundy is almost an anti-hacks character, and then you have the likes of Raven, who Kaitis, very well, there's a real possibility, mind hackses and dies immediately because he doesn't want to see what's in there. He's gonna enter her mind and say, "All right, I'm looking around. Abeloth, just fucking dead because it's Trigon." All right, so we don't have much options here at this tier to win for Star Wars, but I hope y'all realize how much it takes to beat tier 3. Like, it's a respectable team from DC, so it's not like trash characters beating you, So moving on, we are going to tier 4. What do you think would be the best? We didn't say that. What do you think would have been the best fight from tier 3? One you would wanted to watch for whatever reason.
Definitely bare bones Grundy, butt naked against Kaitis, for sure.
Yeah, I don't. Kaida's gonna have a rough day. I will say I'd want to see King Shark start biting through telekinetic force fields because he likes doing that. It's pretty funny. King Shark's gonna bite you, dog. It doesn't matter who you are. You're getting bit. So.
Yeah, his chomp hacks are ridiculous.
Yeah, he just bites anything. He bites like. Oh, never mind. We're gonna make a video on
the num force.
Tier 4. Let me go ahead and say what Tier 4 brings to the table. What the range of power is. For attack potency, we put between 21 to 25, which is a range of universal to multiversal plus. Destructive capability we put at a 22, which is universe plus, and speed we put at 9 or 10, which is unquantifiable to Godspeed. Godspeed is when you're just past dimensions. It doesn't matter. The reason for that for Tier 4 is these characters have moved in Mortis and fought in Mortis, which is outside of the mortal realms, doesn't have real time or space. Anyways, Tier 4, first character, Darth Krayt. Kaitis said Krayt was above him as the man in the shadows. And this is kind of backed up for when Crate finally appears down the road. Now, Crate for a long time was the figure in the shadows, from the Clone Wars as a Jedi Master to one of the greatest Sith ever. Crate was always a monster, turned himself into a real monster after he got kidnapped and tortured by the Yuuzhan Vong, and has embarrassed multiple Sith and Jedi over the years. This includes he pulled up on Abeloth with Luke, betrayed Luke, and started draining both of them, and was capable of harming both of them. So he's stupid strong. He's also manhandled and bullied Cade Skywalker. And Crate, what made him so dangerous was a master of really elusive Force abilities. This includes never-before-seen lightning mixed with mind hacks. He actually drained Luke and Abeloth when they fought. He has Shatterpoint, can transfer his essence to you, just take your body over, and drain you on all planes of existence, mind, body, and soul alike. It's compared to Oblivion. Next up, Luke Skywalker. Luke is the GOAT. This includes he always gets stronger. Just in a short time after Dark Empire, Luke got twice as strong, and he just never really stopped getting stronger. Luke also has a broken ability where he gets moved before he knows he needs to move. The Force literally puts him in a position to win. So the Force, it contains everything. And it allows Luke to passively be moved to the best spots on the battlefield to take advantage of his powers. So that's a really good ability to have. And Luke only ever truly had problems with characters like Abeloth. Even then, if he's severely pressed about to die, he can become one with the Force. And in oneness, the reason I said it's about a 12 times multiplier is because it was stated when he first met Abeloth, she was 12 times stronger. She was killing him. He entered oneness and fought her off. So he had to get at least 12 times stronger. Luke also just looks at stuff, and sometimes it dies depending on his move. So Luke just might look at you. So with that being said, Tier 4, what's DC bringing?
Tier 4, number 1. Up for Tier 4 right now, ladies and gentlemen, I present none other than the ultra fan service character for the fanboys that have no girlfriends, Zatanna. Zatanna, up front, let's get right to it. Yes, she's magical. Yes, she speaks backwards, but she also summons the Upside Down Man, who can eat and devour characters that threaten the continuity of DC. That is all of creation. If you don't believe me, read Witch Hunt starring Wonder Woman. Zatanna came in to save the day and spoke the Upside Down Man into existence. Next up, after that, because really there's no point going on to another magic power, Hal Jordan. Hal Jordan actually becomes willpower. Hal Jordan, with this, can actually go so fast, he almost created a Speed Force singularity. And it's good that Flash mentioned going beyond God speeds, because that's exactly what he was doing when he was chasing down the God of Speed itself. And a lot of people are looking at him right now. Yeah, I know. A lot of people are looking at that character like, who is that? Hey, man. We're not here to answer stupid questions. All right, next after that. We're going to use his last and probably one of his more impressive feats from Beyond the Grave. Kyle Rayner is using Hal Jordan's ring and was being influenced by Hal Jordan's personality and willpower. From Beyond the Grave, I repeat, the afterlife. Now after that, we're going to look at Wonder Woman. Everybody knows who Wonder Woman is. I'm sure a lot of guys have Googled Gal Gadot. But we're not here for that. We're here for the actual feats, all right? Keep your heads on straight. We got 2 fan service characters in this little bracket right here. We're going to keep it on the feats. Wonder Woman defied the representative. Hey, so some people might be trying to look to do that with Gal Gadot, but Wonder Woman defied the representative of the Presence when she defeated Phantom Stranger. There's really nothing else more to say. You know who the Presence is. You know who the Phantom Stranger is. This man has swapped hands with Spectre multiple times. He's approached Trigon. He's literally the voice of the presence. That's all you need to know. This is her best feat as of late by far. And this is what she did. She boloed this man. It almost seems like he gets erased from existence afterwards. But he definitely got fired for doing his job wrong. But yeah, she beat him, and that's her best feat. There's really nothing. There's really nothing else to say. I'm not gonna go in here. Well, she beat him, but hey, well, she fought Superman. That's ridiculous. This is her best feat. That's all we need to go into. That's a team for DC.
Yeah, basically this team's going to be able to resist the crazy hacks these characters are going to be using. Oh, I forgot to mention one character from Tier 4, Sidious. I'm using DE Sidious. This Sidious was threatening to consume the universe. He could create black holes out of nowhere. He could create wormholes and transport you wherever he wanted. It was rumored at one point they thought he was actually going to become like the new Darkseid entity, like the actual Darkseid itself. That's how powerful he was getting. He was defeated by EU Luke with help of Leia. But Sidious was a monster. He was able to use mind hacks, soul hacks. He could put his body in yours. He could destroy your soul.
Pause.
Yeah, pause. His lightning was some of the strongest in the verse. Sith lightning's not regular lightning, so it's much more potent. And he's lit up entire planets. Just getting excited, he was moving a star system. So yeah, like he's ridiculous. And he's also, you have to seal him away to kill him or just erase him, because he'll just come back. It actually took all the souls of the dead Jedi to keep him suppressed. So that's the 3-on-3. DC's gonna neg their hacks, and that's it. So one of the things we talked about before this video, I think this is relevant. The problem with DC matching up with Star Wars is a lot of DC characters that can resist Star Wars hacks are a lot stronger than the Star Wars characters. So that's where we ran into a problem kind of collecting some DC characters, just so everyone knows. But moving on, final round, Tier 5. Real quick, I'm going to go over what we consider Tier 5 like power levels to be. So at Tier 5, we said destructive capabilities and the AP is about the same, 24 to a 25, which is infinite dimensional to creation level. Speeds also at 10, Godspeed. These characters are just, they're fast, so it's going down. First up, we have Peak Prime Abeloth. Abeloth was the mortal side chick to Father, became the main chick, drank from the fountain, and became a god. Abeloth, at her peak, bullied son and daughter, who Father explained if they showed up in the mortal realms passively just with their beef, they would tear apart the fabric of the mortal realms just by being there. So he has to keep them imprisoned. Abeloth scared the entire verse. Father had to save son and daughter from her power, then sealed her. There is literally shifts in the entirety of the Force as a concept if she even starts moving or shaking her prison. Her power is a result of the Mortis Realm's fonts, which she used. Abeloth casually used dozens of hacks, as most Force hacks are known to her since she drank from the Fountain of Knowledge. Or maybe she bathed in it. It was one of those. To defeat Abeloth, essentially what it takes is you have to erase her on every level of existence or she's going to come back. So, moving on, we have Bedlam Spirits. These strange entities were found in a random part of hyperspace. They are trans-dimensional and can actually mess with and alter concepts. They are not smart, but they are casual reality warpers. Just messing with time, all that stuff. And one of them actually has anti-concept abilities. They don't elaborate too much on that, but anti-concept sounds OP, so we're rolling with it. Now, Father was, in my opinion, the GOAT. He ran off Abeloth after she beat his kids, the light and dark side manifestations of the Force. He is the balance of the Force and keeps himself and his children in a prison called Mortis outside the mortal realms. And he has created a dagger that can only strip his celestial family of their mortality, and then you can kill them. But obviously, it's Occam's razor at that point. It's semantics. So we're going to let GB take over and cap off who he picked to rep Tier 5 for DC.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, to the shocking and dismay of Star Wars fans, there's only one competitor from DC representing the comic book company Ayatollah of Smash and Bola, and that is Lobo. Now everybody knows what Lobo's about. He's a ridiculous character who borderline has Toon Force because all the writing he gets makes no sense, but everybody's okay with it because he looks ridiculous and everybody likes that. Now, that being said, the most ridiculous thing Lobo has done as of late is introduce the concept of death to the realm of imaginations in DC. For those who don't know, that is the fifth dimension, and for those who don't know about that, that is Mixie's world. For those who don't know about Mixie, Mixie at one point traveled into the real world to beat up writers. Yes, Lobo went there and beat up fifth dimensional imps and killed all of them. Not really much to say about that. Lobo's gonna put in work on this team. I can feel the pain of the Star Wars fandom.
Dave, just so people understand, I made this an even bigger picture. The imps go, death is not a concept here, and Lobo says that's tough. I'm still killing you. So.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Lobo just doesn't care. Lobo just doesn't care.
Yeah.
So that's it. Like, there's really nothing to say here. You guys know what's going on. Like, this is just too much. This was super overkill for the last round. I know we could have probably picked up a more even fight, but Lobo came in and decided to smash mouth everyone and just destroy and wreak havoc everywhere.
Yeah, so that's the tournament, the 5-tier tournament for Star Wars versus DC. Right off the bat, we knew Star Wars wasn't going to win, but it was interesting seeing how far they get and who it takes to beat them. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this style of video where we do these tiers and stuff, let us know. Hit the like button. We crossed 50 members recently. Check out the memberships. Hit me up in the comments if you want to become a member. We give out free memberships on top of the ones y'all purchased to come hang out with me and Chuck. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Thank you, GB, for helping me get this video together. And with that being said, we'll see y'all later.